Hey everybody, welcome to one of the scars. Oscar my videos and follow. Welcome to tuning in. If you guys want to see my review, please stay tuned. All right, before I get started, you guys, if you hear any noise in the background, it's because it's Lovey. He's sleeping. I don't know. He just wanted to come in here tonight. So yeah, and it took me forever to do this because I did burn myself with some soup. Not this part right here, but it's a part right here where I burned myself. So yeah, I'll talk more about it in the vlog. But yeah, so yeah, and then on my foot, but I'm okay. I tried to blister up a little bit. I see it trying to do that, but I hope my whole arm don't do that, but I pretty much don't think it is, just that part a little bit, my foot. So I'm okay, I'm all right. I can take it. Okay, I'm a soldier. But anyway, I digress. So the movie that we're gonna review today is called My Body My Pride, with Eddie Watson in it. I'm looking at my computer, I'm sorry. It's a very famous Nigerian, I'm sorry, I don't know if he's Nigerian, but there's an African movie. I've been watching African movies for a long time. They're one of the best movies that I have seen. They make some good movies. They have good characters and stuff like that. So this movie is on YouTube. So if you're not familiar with it, I'll definitely leave the link down below. If you guys want more videos like this, please let me know. Okay, so sorry for the long introduction, but let's just get into it. I don't have any notes because I just freshly watched it probably about a few hours ago because this is a little late. Okay, all right, so at any rate, with this movie, it was a lady. Her name was Lucy, and I forgot the husband's name, so we're just gonna say the husband. And they have a little baby together. So the wife was always she didn't work, and she would stay at home and always cared about doing her nails. She always cared about ordering cream. She only cared about, doing things for herself, ever since she had the baby. That's all she's been doing. And they did have a nanny, and the nanny will always do everything for the baby. So if the baby is crying, she will tell the nanny to go get her. If the baby was wanting to be around her or wanted to get breastfed, she told the nanny to get some other food or whatever the case is, because she's not breastfeeding, because she would say her breast, she said to her husband, she was like, oh, my breast, my breast is going to be all saggy and stuff like that. Like, she always cared about her outside of what's happening. And that's why I spoke about this burn, because she was talking about the blemishes on her skin, and she was looking at her mark. She was like, oh my god, I got this mark on here. Oh, I have to get some cream. She's like, oh, I'll fix that to get something to get get that off, whatever the case is. So she was just concerned about her, just about her. She didn't care about the child or the husband either. So the husband had needs as well. When they would go to bed, he would say, but before this happened, he would say stuff like, oh, he's like, I don't care about the the breasts and stuff like that. I just want you to help around the house. You're not doing anything, you're not even cleaning up, you just care about your doing your nails, your hair, and the creams and stuff like that. You're not even worried about your daughter and everything else. You're just worried about yourself and doing for yourself and stuff like that. And so when they went to bed one night, he was just trying to get some intimacy going on, and she was like, oh, now you want to get intimate and stuff like that. You said you didn't want this breast and all this stuff. And she was waving him off and please. So she went to bed, and he was just trying to I guess turn it on and stuff like that, but she was just pushing them off and waving them off and stuff like that. So basically she had called a friend, and a friend had called her talking about going to Dubai, to go to some type of, I don't know, banquet or convention or something about with cream and stuff like that. In the meantime, her husband's wife was coming in to, I guess, to help or to see what's going on and what he's going through and stuff like that. So the sister saw what was going on, and she didn't like it. And she's like, did you hear the baby crying? The baby was crying. She brought the baby out here, and this, that, and the third. And then she was on the phone, and she was like, oh, let me call you back. So she got off the phone. She was just sitting there doing nothing. And so she was like, did you hear the baby crying and stuff like that? She was like, what? She was like, what? You over here telling me about stuff, and you are divorced and all this stuff. And so then I think her then the husband's wife had smacked his wife. No, I'm sorry. The husband's sister had smacked his wife, so he got mad about that and told his sister to leave or whatever the case. But I'm like, you know, he told her to stay out of it and stuff like that. So I'm thinking, like, didn't he fly her in to like help them out or whatever the case is, because she was being a little finicky with the nanny, and plus the nanny is not built in, so the nanny would just come and then leave at a certain period of time. So she would make the nanny do everything. She would make the nanny cook, clean, and everything. She does everything except for whatever to her man or whatever the case is to her husband. So there'll be times where, you know, the nanny is doing something and she's washing clothes, and she call them, I think she calls the man sir, and she calls the mother ma. I think that's what it is. And first I thought it was ma'am, but I think it's ma. So she was saying, oh, yes ma, and stuff like that. And so when she was saying that, she was like, yes ma. And so when she was saying stuff like that, you know, she would tell her to, you know, do this here. And then, no, she said, go to the grocery store, buy the food. And she said, oh, ma, it's going to take me a long time to get this and get that. And by the time I get back, she's like, I don't care. You go and get that food. And you know, they have an accent. So I don't know. I don't want to do the accent. I want to mess it up. So I don't care. You go and get that food and bring it here. You're gonna cook it. And I'm paraphrasing. And so she went and did that, whatever the case. And the husband was like, what is going on? Why are you still here? He's like, oh. So when the sister was there, the sister thought that the wife had cooked the food, but it was the nanny. And so she was like, and the wife was like, oh, so you like the food? She was like, oh. She was like, yes, yeah, the nanny, yeah, she cook it or whatever the case is. So she was doing a lot of stuff. So the nanny had, I guess she was going to school, she was doing a project and stuff like that. And so the husband will ask her about the project, how's it going and stuff like that. And she needed the job in order to pay for the school or pay for the project that she was calling it. And so she would be doing her you know, homework and project at home, I mean at the job or stuff like that. And so the husband would ask her, like, what's her GPA? And then she said it was like a 4.357. I was like, dang. I was like, that GPA. I was like, what GPA system they got? 6 point is what's the maximum out there? I was like, oh, because you know here it's like from, you know, 1 to 4. So she was like 4.37. I was like, oh, dang. And he was like, oh, you're good, whatever like that. So the wife was looking like, oh, what's going on? So she thinking in her head that they're having an affair, bruh. First of all, and the way this movie went, but let me just say, okay. So anyway, so that's what happened. So then next thing you know, so the in the girl's life, I forgot the nanny's name, and so I think it was, I forgot something with S, but anyway. So then, you know, she would go and then she would be dealing with her boyfriend Colin, stuff like that. He's like, I could take care of you, stuff like that. And so he was basically thinking about himself, you know, about his needs. He wasn't thinking about like the financial status, because she was worried about her, you know, project, her schooling and stuff like that, because that's her career, that's her life, whatever the case is. She said she has to do this and stuff like that. So when she got fired, because the wife saw her laughing because she told her to stay away from her husband. So she's like, oh, I see you over there laughing and I'm gonna need for you to stay away. I was like, oh, okay, you know. So then she's like, okay. And so she's like, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, you know. So then she finally you know, stayed away, whatever the case is. And then when the nanny went to tell her her boyfriend, he was like, you can stay with me, you know, I'll take care of you, whatever the case is. So then when the husband found out, he was like, what is going on? Like, why did you? So because when she he was like, what is going on? Like, what? And then he came downstairs and he was like, it's 8:00. And she was just sitting in the living room watching TV. And so he was like, it's 8:00, like, where's my breakfast? And then she was like, she's like, oh, you could go in the kitchen, you know, whatever like that, just waving him off and filing her nails and stuff like that. And he was like, what are you doing? He's like, the house is a mess. It's like World War III and you over here just sitting here doing your nails and stuff like that. You don't even care. And then he had yelled at her before about buying all those creams. So she was spending like $27,000. So they had a joint account, and he had told her that, you know, she could spend the money or whatever the case is. is, but, you know, she's like, you told me, you know, I could spend the money and whatever the case is. So he said that he was going to go to the bank and he was going to take her off of the account. And she's like, what? Oh my God. And so she's looking at her body like, oh, you know, looking at stuff. And then she was mad because she couldn't go to Dubai because he said, no, you're going to stay in this room and you're not going to nobody's Dubai. So she was mad or whatever because, you know, she wanted to go, whatever the case is. And so I think he said that he told somebody to deliver the cream to her, whatever the case is. So he was just saying, all you do is walk around here and want to do the creams and, you know, do your nails and all this stuff and, you know, whatever. You don't never want to do anything. You basically don't want to be a mother, basically don't want to be a wife. You just want the nanny to do everything and stuff like that. And, you know, so she was saying, oh, okay. So then she was like, oh, the problem is me. Okay, I know what the problem is. And she was like, I'm leaving. I'm going to take my child. And then he said, no, like, basically, like, you know, you could leave, like, don't take the baby and stuff like that. So she's like, okay, I'm still leaving. I'm leaving. So she went upstairs. She left, whatever the case is. And so they were separated. They didn't get a divorce or anything like that. But the nanny, the husband called the nanny, you know, they had lunch, and he was like, you know, would you come back, like, please, because my wife is gone and it's kind of hard. He said he had his sister to fly in again to help him out and stuff like that. And so then you know, she said no, whatever. And so then he called her again, like, you know, just to beg, and he's like, please, I need you, you know, to come, you know, to help me out and stuff like that, blah. And so then the wife must have seen him on the phone, and she was like, yes. She was like, oh, she was like, yeah, I knew they were sleeping together. She was like, yeah. And then she got on the phone. She was like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go do it, and do it swiftly. Yeah, get her. So I'm thinking like something was going to happen. You know what I'm saying, like that. But let me get to it. So then the nanny and the when her friends was talking and stuff like that, and she was taking care of the house and the baby and stuff like that, and she was saying how her boyfriend, you know, his job fell through, like he didn't have a job anymore, and that, you know, they were behind on bills and stuff like that, and, you know, and it was just too much for her, so she just basically had to leave him alone. So she was like, and then she was talking to her friend, she's like, I don't even want to talk about that, you know, that fool or whatever she said. I forgot what she said. So they stopped talking about that. It was like little small talks and stuff like that. And so that was basically about that. So then, you know, she was cleaning up and stuff like that, whatever. So she had to go and throw something in the garbage or whatever. And the people that the wife had called had kidnapped her. So they kidnapped her, put her in some room, and then, you know, the girl was sad, you know, like, you know, not sad. She was sad, and she was like scared or whatever. So, scared mostly. She's like, no. She's like, Mom, you're not kidding. She's like, I know you over there sleeping with him, and da. She was like, no, like, I would never do that, and da, whatever the case is. She's like, you know, you could still be, you know, like, you know, be, you know, be beautiful, and this and the third, while you're still doing, you know, while you're still being a mom and stuff like that, you know, when you're cooking and stuff like that, you can still be beautiful, you know, whatever, you know, just trying to fill her head up, you know, with some positivity and some, you know, and try to build up with some confidence, because this lady, this is all she cared about was herself. If she, you know, she said to her husband one day, when she boiled the water, she'd get a burnt mark. And I'm just like, bruh, like, I got a burnt mark right here, like, just like, you know, heating up some you know how many times I've been burnt? Like, come on now. Like, I got burned my face, you know, hot curling and stuff like that. Like, it will go away. Throw some coconut butter on that scar, because I know there's going to be a scar. So throw some coconut oil, butter, you know, some coconut oil, coconut butter or something on it, and the scar will completely go away. You don't need a special cream. You know, use some natural stuff and it will go away or whatever. Shea butter, whatever. So, but anyway, I digress. So yeah, so she was trying to, you know, hype her up and stuff like that. And so she was like, you know, and then she said that he misses you and stuff like that. So as they was coming into the house, she said, I'll help you. I'll go every step of the way to help you to, you know, to get him back. So, so then when they was going, you know, he was talking to the baby, like they was coming in, and he didn't know they was coming in together. And so then he was like, you know, he's like, oh, you look just like your mom. I miss her so much, whatever, like that. And she said, I miss you too. And then they didn't say nothing about her being like kidnapped and stuff like that. She just said that she saw Ma and, you know, brought her here, and that was the case, whatever the case is. So he doesn't know about the kidnapping or anything like that, because that would have made it a whole big thing. So so they just, you know, basically got, you know, together. She said she was sorry, she was sincerely sorry. He was like, you know, at first it seemed like he wasn't going to take her back, but he did take her back. So I was like, oh my gosh. So this story was basically very, 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 like, you know, interesting, because it shows how, you know, certain families, or how certain things happen, could happen in families. And I just was amazed at the fact that, you know, it was kind of tricky, because when she said, I want this done, I kind of thought about a kidnapping, but then I thought that they was going to try to, like, hurt her or whatever the case is. But I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. So they just basically kidnapped her. And I thought it was going to be on some, you know, them having an affair, but they didn't even have the affair, the nanny and the husband. You know, it's just that he just needed that help, and he wanted the help and stuff like that. And you know, the wife was very absent in the house. Like, she basically didn't want to clean. She didn't want to cook. She didn't want to do anything but worry about her creams, worry about her, you know, if she getting scratches or she getting burns or this, that, and the third. You know, she didn't want nothing. It was all about her. Like, me. You know, it was all about her. And people had to tell her about herself too. Like, and say that, like, you know, it's basically not all about you and things of that sort. So she finally came to the realization, like, okay, this is my family. I have to be here with my family. This is what I have to do. And that's just it. So I thought this was a pretty good, you know, movie, a very good life lesson to be learned. Okay. You know, like, you know, you're in a family. I've never been married before, but, you know, I'm pretty sure I know how it works, because I had a mother and father who have been together till death do them part. So, you know, you basically, you know, do the 50-50, you know, you like, you're not doing anything. Like, what you thought? Like, you just basically want the nanny to do everything, but you don't want to do anything. You know what I mean? So, it's, yeah, and I blistered up a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, and it's like, you want the nanny to do everything. And it's just like, no, bro, you have to do something too. Like, the nanny is just there for a little bit of help or a little bit of support. You know, you want your daughter to know who you are. You don't want the daughter to know that the nanny is basically like the mom. You are the mom. You know what I mean? So just, like, stop being lazy. Like, why did you get married for? Why did you have children? You see what I'm saying? You should have thought about this in the process. So it's like she was just too well in tune to herself. So finally she did get the gist, and finally she did get it, and was like, you know what? This is what I have to do. This is my family. I can't just let it go like that, or whatever the case is. But she's a little mean. Okay, she seemed like she was mean. I was like, oh my goodness. She's like, and you do that, and then I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, like, chill, bruh. But yeah, so that was the movie, and you can find this on YouTube. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I liked it a lot. It was very nice. You know, as far as, like, it had you going, like, it's just like, okay, so what's gonna be next? What's gonna be next? Oh, is this gonna be next? Or whatever the case. It wasn't boring. I found myself, like, really getting into it, so I really did like that part. So definitely go check that out. It's on YouTube, and I definitely linked that video down below. And it's with Eddie Watson in it, and he's a famous African actor, so definitely go check him out. I watched a few movies with him in it prior to this, and he is an awesome actor, so I definitely will be watching more. If you guys want more movie reviews or things of that sort about you know, African movies, please let me know. You know, subscribe if you like, share if you like if you like, you know, comment if you like, and let me know down in the comment section below if you have been watching these movies, because these movies are very fun. They're very, like, you know, intriguing and suspense and drama and stuff like that, and I just like that. Like, I like that type of, you know what I'm saying, drama like that, like watching it. And it's very, and it's mysterious. It's just like so I like movies like that. So you know, if you're into movies like that or whatever the case is, please let me know, and I'll be doing more of these. I'm probably gonna watch another one tomorrow, so I could probably have something in my pocket, you know, and or just watch it right before I film, and then I'll be able to have it fresh in my head instead of, you know, reading notes, because half the time I can't read my handwriting. So yeah, so that's basically about that. So yeah, so that's why I brought up the burn mark, because she was just very concerned about her scratches, her burns, and if she boiled water, she was gonna get a burn, and then she had to take care of it and stuff like that. I'm like, bruh, You know how many bruises and scratches I got? Like, you know, that just like wilted away or by itself, or I just use some cocoa butter or coconut oil and it just poof be gone. Magic. Like it's not the end of the world out here. Like people be doing the most. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. Like, bruh, relax, okay? See you guys later. If you have any questions, comments, and concerns, please let me know and get back to me. Thank you so much for sticking with me. And yeah. So okay, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns, watching. Peace, bye.